What's up, guys? Atapark here, and today we are going to talk about, at least in my eyes, as a guild leader, as a raid leader, a very interesting topic, and that is when should you, as a raider, organize a coup within your raid team or your guild? So the question here was raised actually during a conversation with Ben Sager. That is the gentleman, if you guys remember, that is really responsible for half the work on this channel as of late. The amazingly beautiful thumbnails, the art, like I said, a good chunk of the work that's being done here is all due to him. So Ben, if I haven't said it in the past 5 minutes, thank you, because it's beautiful. But with that being said, if you, as the viewer here, have a question that you're interested in me answering, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below or send me a message. All the social media links are in the description below. So let's start off with answering the question of what is a coup. In the context of raiding, it is where you or your group is trying to remove the current guild leadership and then replace that leadership with someone else, you or someone that you guys have chosen. Perhaps that you were, I don't know, unhappy with a policy, something that's going on, and you feel that it's not getting resolved, or you feel that you or someone, and when I say someone, we'll say you, could handle it better if you were given the chance. So, with that all being said, where the hell do you even start? First, you need to identify the problem or problems within your guild, within your group, that would push you towards wanting the current leadership gone. Is the guild leadership, is his or her officers honestly trying to resolve these issues that you see? And that is a key thing here. These are issues that you see. You should make sure that when you are looking at this and you're seeing, are the officers honestly trying to fix what I'm seeing as problems? Are your intentions honest here? Are you looking to take control of the guild or the group because you're unhappy about a completely fair policy? You may have gotten screwed on something. Great example for this, I would say, is in my guild, we have a policy during official raids. Any bind on equip items go to me, regardless. And I think I've talked about this before. Regardless of whether, it would be a huge upgrade or it is your best in slot. Unfortunately, and not to be rude about it, I don't care. Because it may be a best in slot item for you, but if I can sell that item for several thousands of gold and buy flasks or potions or food for the entire raid group, it benefits everybody more than it benefits you as an individual. So, with that being said, have you been screwed over by a completely fair policy? Or are you unhappy about something? Do you just not like someone? Or is it because the current guild leadership is not getting the job done and you honestly, truly feel that you can do better? Now, if the answer to all that, to those questions, are yes, are you willing to wait for them to be resolved? If you are willing to wait, if you can see that, here is an issue or here is a list of issues, but I'm cool with the current leadership tackling them, wait. It's as simple as that. Wait. However, obviously, the answer in this situation is no. You see issues and they're not getting resolved, and you cannot wait. It's the last straw, and you are tired of this crap, and you want these issues fixed. So, the next question for you: have you or others in your guild, in your raid team, have you guys been vocal about the problems that you see? Have you pulled the leadership aside after or before, but not during, a raid night and talk to them about problems that are affecting you or the guild and ask them for them to be resolved? Have you pulled these guys aside and said, hey, look there, guild leader. Hey, look there, raid leader. Hey, look, officers. Here is some problems that we see that we want resolved. if you haven't done that, you're not really giving your guild leader, your leadership, a fair chance. You need to do this. For your own personal benefit and for the guild and group's benefit, in the long run, you need to do this. Remember that there are going to be problems within your guild, within your group. That, yes, we as guild members, as group members, as raid members, all should have the same or very similar, I should say, mindsets and goals for the group. But it's very easy to become blind to something or simply just not see it, not realize that something's happening. Do not ever, and this is advice that I will always give, do not ever hesitate to talk to your leadership about issues that you see. If they are decent leaders, and I've talked about this before, they will listen. They should listen. So, now let's say that you have been vocal. You are unhappy about something and you've pulled them aside a couple of times and you said, look guys, I don't like this. This wasn't handled properly, or I don't like this policy, or I don't like the way we do this thing. And the problem's just not getting resolved. You now need to identify who amongst your entire group or your guild is sympathetic to your cause. Now, if only one or two of you guys feel that there's an issue, or one or two of you guys are unhappy, your best bet, honestly, is to find a new home. There's no sense in creating this gigantic amount of drama and these issues if 2 or 3 of you are unhappy about a guild policy. The best bet is for you guys, maybe together, maybe separately, to find other places to raid within. Like I said, and I've said this before, you as a player are ultimately responsible for your happiness within the game. If you don't like something, you don't have to put up with it. You don't. I've mentioned this before, that my power as a raid leader, my power as a guild leader is given to me by you guys. It's not like my time in the military where I legitimately had a legal backing for being a non-commissioned officer in the Marine Corps. It's not like, I have the company backing me as a manager at work. I don't have that within my guild. The backing is you guys agreeing, I will let him lead the raid. I will listen to what he says. I will let him lead the guild. You guys give me that power. So now, when you're talking to your fellow raiders, be honest with your intentions. You want to make sure that they understand that you are unhappy with something within the group and that you don't feel that the current leadership is handling it properly. At no point during this very tense situation, and it's going to get much more tense, do you want to seem untrustworthy. You do not want to seem like your integrity is questionable at this point. You don't want to do it, because you guys know what I'm going to say here. It will very quickly erode any progress, any movement, any momentum you've made. If people go, wait a minute, I know the reason why you want these guys gone, because you got screwed over last week. Don't want it. You should also take note if and who within the officers or the group leadership are sympathetic to your mindset. Now, I'll tell you guys, as a guild leader, as a guild raid leader, I expect my officers within my guild to back me up 100% all the time. However, this does not mean that they are not allowed to speak their mind, and it doesn't mean that they need to blindly agree with everything I tell them to do and everything I ask the raiders to do. I want my officers to think for themselves and then willingly support me. Now, I've mentioned before that, as an officer, your duty is to express your opinion. To say, look, man, I don't think that we should be doing this, boss, this way, or I don't think that the guild policy should be like that. Speak your mind, and maybe the guild leader, maybe whoever's in charge will decide, you know what, there is a better way, or maybe not. And sometimes my officers come to me and they go, hey man, I think we should do this. And I go, damn, shit, yeah, that's a really good idea. Let's do it that way from now on. And sometimes they come to me and they go, hey, look, let's do this thing. And I go, nah, we're not doing that. No way. I've listened to them. They've spoken their opinion. And I've made my decision. Now, getting back to the situation at hand here, you need to figure out who supports you, who is in agreement with you, who is willing to move forward with this. Now, once you've identified the people, the personnel within your group that are unhappy with whatever policy or feel that they or you or someone can do it better, or that it's simply not getting resolved with the current leadership setup, you need to approach your guild leadership on, again, a non-raid night. The goal here is we don't want to cause unnecessary drama. This is already a high stress, a very high drama situation, and we don't need to add to that by, in the middle of the raid, going, hold on, coup time, guild leadership needs to go away, we're in charge now. You don't need that. Makes for a bad night. So make sure you guys do this on a non-raid night. Speak with your guild leadership. Let them know that there is a current policy, there's a situation, there's something that's going on that is not acceptable to this entire group that you want to change. Now, again, we're going to be very open. We're not going to be rude. We're going to be very calm. We're going to talk about it. Now, you as a group beforehand probably need to decide, and in fact you should decide, if a promise to change at this point will warrant a last chance. But this needs to be decided before approaching the guild leadership. So you need to decide if we bring this to the guild leadership and they say, you know what, guys, we've been totally blind. We've ignored this. We haven't put our full undivided attention. We haven't put an honest attempt into fixing or adjusting or changing this. We will work on it. Will you as a group give them another opportunity to change it? Decide before they make this promise. It also wouldn't be a terrible idea to have somebody's alt prepared with a guild ready to go, ready to grab people up if and when things fall apart and you guys decide that, we want to create our own group. So best case scenario here is that you bring these issues up as a whole group to the current guild leadership, and they either immediately change and everyone agrees to work on whatever problem or policy or adjustment that needs to happen, or the current leadership steps down and they are replaced. Now, I can tell you guys, I will be completely honest here. My mindset of leading my guild as an officer for damn near close to 10 years, and then being the guild leader within my guild for 4 or 5 years, this wouldn't happen. If the group came to me, a good majority of my guild, and said that something wasn't happening and they wanted me to step down, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be angry. There's a lot of emotions flaring, and I would not be in a very good state. Now, again, hopefully, me personally, and hopefully you as a raid leader, guild leader, etc., were told this beforehand and honestly made efforts to fix it. But again, emotions are going to be flaring. It's going to be a tense situation. So it's not going to end well the majority of the time. Most likely scenario is your raid group, your guild implodes, those unhappy with the current leadership split, and the rest stay to either maybe recover, but more than likely the guild dies off, or is a shell, a husk of their former selves. So if you and your group are able to peacefully take control of your guild, you need to understand that those that are within those leadership positions, the former guild leader, the former officers, are probably and more than likely going to harbor some major contempt for you and for the rest of the group if they choose to continue to raid within that organization. More than likely, they're going to either ditch the group or stop playing altogether. Let's be honest here. If you were kicked out as guild leader or as an officer, do you really want to stick around with the group that kicked you out? Probably not. You need to make sure that whatever progress you as a group have made before this change does not stop. There is nothing worse than going, look, guys, I'm unhappy with this. I want to get rid of the current guild leadership. I want to take control. And, half the guild says, you know what? We agree. We support you. You go to the guild leadership. Everything changes. And then progress stops. And the wheels stop turning. And people go, wait, we were making progress. And loot was flowing. And yeah, there were problems. And it wasn't perfect. But now we're doing nothing. Not good. So if things don't work out and your group decides, or honestly is forced to leave, you need to reform as quickly as possible. And you need to make sure that immediate steps are made to gain traction. This is a volatile, and this is probably the most volatile point within this situation, is that people are very easily willing to side when there's a problem. They're willing to side with you. And then when they see that progress isn't being made, that, we were in this guild, we were in this group, and we were doing, we were 9 out of 10 normal Nighthold. And, we were really close on killing Gul'dan. And, the guild leader kept giving his girlfriend all the loot. And it made us all angry, so we left. And now we're 3 out of 10 normal. And we can't kill the 4th boss. And it's super frustrating. Of course it would be. So you need to make sure that immediate steps are gained to make progress, to make traction, to start getting people in, to start making progress. And that you need to realize that when people see that progress isn't being made, or that their time is or was wasted, they're going to become selfish and look for new homes. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So let's be honest here. Let's look at this whole situation. It's not great. It's a shitty situation. And most likely, if this is your situation, it means that your entire group, your entire guild, potentially, more than likely, is going to implode and fail. Including those that are siding with you. Because again, they want to make sure that they are taken care of as individuals. Nothing wrong with that. It's a rough situation. But again, I will say to you guys, remember that in the end, your happiness within this guild is no one's responsibility but your own. So make sure that you guys are doing what you need to make sure that you are happy. I can't tell you guys how many times I've heard personal stories, friends and whatnot, new guild members, or even comments I'll get on here where people will say, I had to deal with this drama, or I went through this drama, or that drama, or this issue. You guys are responsible for your happiness. Now, with all that being said, hopefully you guys like what I'm saying here. If you do, you guys know the deal. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Both of those things encourage me a great deal to continue making the content that you're seeing here. Again, comments in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, I'll see ya.